So hey, what's up? Lee here, and I just thought I'd give you guys some more content. Um, Today I will be showing you a quick little sped up session of me drawing Ikki Akuma, um, and then just talking about things, if that's cool. Um, Sorry I haven't had much content. I've been busy, family, um, the Rona. I can get Rona, but you gotta watch out for her. So I have a watchtower at my house, looking out, making sure the Rona army isn't gonna come and invade me like a bunch of zombies. Um, yeah. Other than that, doing my thing, doing Beyblades for people, working on my original comic as well called The Safe Side. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of that, if you've been catching up with my Instagram or any of those things. I see it on there. Oh well, I don't care. Anyway, so when I start drawing, I usually start with something super rough like this, and it's usually on paper. I'll sketch it out, do it all rough and messy and bleh, something I picked up from actually comic artists first, and turns out it's something that everyone does nowadays, or at least that's my impression that everyone does it. And I was late to that game. I was trying to make things perfect right from the start, and it made me horrible. And so about maybe 5 years ago, I figured out this magical technique and started using light boards for it whenever I got into animation, and it just made my art so much better. Um, Definitely with my style. I have a kind of Disney-esque anime style. I like to say that I mix together Cooley styling artwork with Eureka 7 and some Disney work, and maybe even like Titan AE. When I say Disney work, I mean something like along the lines of Big Hero 6. Uh, yeah, so I just kind of go through the motions, putting all the lines, making them move, finding shapes that I like and don't like, editing, just like you see here, my adjustment of the head because I didn't like the position it was in. And then I'll just erase things out, put things back in, just to give me a good little framework. Um, yeah, and that's pretty much it as far as the rough. And then I'll go and do another rough pass that's a little cleaner, kind of giving me the sharp angles and the accents that I want. Isn't the right thing? I don't know. I'm not. I'm not like super school trained, if that makes sense. I've studied in traditional art, which is what I'm truly better in. I think is traditional artwork, hand on paper, realism. I excel in whenever I'm doing charcoal or pencil drawings, and I enjoy doing cartoons and anime style work, manga style work. I wouldn't say American superhero comic style, kind of stray from that. I guess that pushes more of a realism in the envelope, and so I kind of push away from I guess my natural with it, not natural. Um, I guess I'm just naturally, I have a natural eye for realism, but I don't enjoy doing it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm really good at math as well, but I do not enjoy doing it. Anybody else have something like that? You can just place it down in the comments if you go through those emotions towards something and enjoy doing something else and have fun with it. But yeah, so I developed the style, I developed this stuff all through watching these little things and forcing myself to have some, like before, I guess I was trying to mimic my heroes. What is it? his name? John Mayer. He said we're all failures to be our heroes, and so that's what I've accepted that I am. Is I'm a failure to be my heroes, and I don't necessarily know all my heroes' names. I just see things and I dig it and I start drawing it, and I'm like, cool. I want to apply that to something I've done, and or it's not I've done, but something I'm going to do. And yeah, give some information about Ikki for the Beyfight comic. Ikki Kawakuma is pretty much a rip-off fan fiction. It's like a dual fan fiction. I love Beyblade, and obviously that's what Beyfight is a tribute to. But it's also a tribute to one of my favorite animes slash mangas called Air Gear. And so literally two characters in the main cast, Ikki and Sid, which he'll come later, are basically character design rips with a little bit different elements to them, but I want them to be like, if I took those characters from Air Gear and put them in a Beyblade world and gave them the nuances that Air Gear has, that is what became Beyfight's universe, I guess you could say. How they approach their Beyblades. It's not the I guess little kids wanting to be the world's best kind of thing. It's more kind of like a back alley game that isn't necessarily socially accepted among others. Yeah. So Ikki is a tribute to Ikki in Air Gear, and Kawakuma, his last name, comes from me combining Ko and Akuma. And I don't know if that's exactly how they're pronounced, but basically, if you separate it, it means boy demon. So he's last name is just Boy Demon, and he walks around with this fey creature that looks like a demon herself. And then he has these silver eyes, so he kind of gets himself a nickname called the Silver-Eyed Demon. And you'll be seeing some more about that in Chapter 2 that's going to come out pretty soon. Yeah, so Ikki's just kind of this bratty orphan kid. Would he be bratty? I guess he'd just be more of a kind of selfish, sock it to you kind of guy. Doesn't really play nice with others, isn't very understanding of social cues, and there's a reason to that. You'll find out later. I guess there's some more little spoilers. I think it might have been in the first chapter, but he's an orphan, and the reason to why he's an orphan and how long he's been an orphan and what circumstances brought him to this will be some of the backstory that you get into. That's something I'm exploring more with the Beyfight story, is showing these characters in more of a developmental building, kind of get more attached to the character themselves other than, oh, I'm gonna be the best. I got this really cool Beyblade, and here's my gimmick, and I work in the circus, or I do this or that. These guys are more real, if fantasy and battling tops with spirits in it could be real. They go through real life things, they go through detrimental and traumatic things, and that affects their blading and their story and all these different sorts of things that I'm going to have to go through. You have Cyrus that will be coming up in Chapter 2 as well. Cyrus is kind of the bubblegum version of Ikki, I would say. He in a way he's a direct inverted version of Ikki. not internally, but as far as who he is, how he presents himself, what he finds humorous, and he has more of a social cue while Ikki doesn't. I don't know if that makes sense. You'll kind of see it pretty soon. Cyrus is the owner of Cygnus, the Beyblade that won Xander and Voltum's Xander from Xandork Engineering and Voltum's from Voltum MS. YouTube dude, the YouTube dude. Sorry, dude. That I just like lowered you down to YouTube dude. You're a human being too, and you're loved, you're cherished, you're a good friend. Yeah. So the the contest that was won with that for this awesome Swan Beyblade. I was taken back by how beautiful this thing looked, and so it had to be in there, and so it is, and it's become a main character. He's basically going to be the defense main character, while Ikki is in balance, kind of following Drum in Beyblade GT. They started following, or no, I guess Iga was the first balance main character. So that's something that Ikki explores, a balance. He kind of follows all the routes, and that's something that will be portrayed through the story. And another kind of really cool thing that I want to announce slash have your heads up for is I'm wanting to introduce a new system that's going to be standard to Beyblade, or not Beyblade, but the custom Beyblade world for custom base, and hopefully it could be pulled into tournaments. Maybe it'll become more available as 3D printers are becoming more available and 3D printing services are becoming more available. I think it's a great possibility to have more custom tournaments out there. So I wanted to make a system, and that will be introduced in Beyfight, and I'll have it to the public. All I can really tell you is it's going to focus on 3 types: attack, stamina, and defense as huge. Balance is going to be taken out because it's going to be more of a badge type, something that you can achieve. But yeah, so there you go. That's the stuff. That's a little update. Also, Poke Bays are a thing. Check these out. I have those available on my Shapeways. Just type in Panley37 on shapeways.com and you can find it. I have them priced fairly decent, I think, to be able to make a little headway for myself, but also make it available for you guys at not an arm and a leg of cost. But yeah, check out my Patreon. I have, actually, Venusaur is free on Patreon, and I will be adding some more free, what do you call it, renders and stuff up there. And yeah, peace and love, and the Lord bless all of you. Goodbye. So long. Smell you later. Don't look behind you. There's a ghost. If there actually is a ghost. Sorry for ruining your scare, Mr. Ghost. Or Mrs. Ghost. I don't know. Maybe it's a dog ghost or something. Bye.